Hey fellow vigilantes, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Bellwright. Episode 11, Bandit Spoils. Call to arms. So any NPC or any person in your colony that is toggled as a guard reservist, if you call to arms, they will mobilize as a guard. In this case, I just didn't want them to go to sleep. But what I'm going to do instead is set them up as a companion, so we can go clear that bandit camp that's blocking me from garlic, because garlic is life. Karina here is full of food, that's good. Lubomir, full of food, that's good. Karina needs weapons. Elksroyd, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the stream, dude. Alright, 1, 2. So I'll bring a shield for myself. And here's a shield and club for Karina. Alright, they look set up. I mean, they look kind of naked, but can't help them with that. Did we end up getting bags? No, not fully. Okay, that's fine. So we are headed to this bandit camp because it blocks both the garlic and the tin and the mud. And you guys voted for me to kill something, so I'm gonna kill something. Flabberific, thank you for the sub as well. I'm not too worried about more arrows. I'm not trying to be just a bowman. I'm not just a Robin Hood. I'll get down and dirty with a sword and board every day of the week. Who are you? Oh no, you're a firefly. Alright, companions.
Move!
Stay there. I'll do the opening salvo. Right in the nuts. Oh, I hit him in the head. And him in the head. Sending my companions in. Get him! I'm gonna just watch this one. Appreciate the beatdown. Dude, you got smoked. Good job, companions. You're off duty. And I didn't need more arrows, because this dead archer just gave me some. He also gave me a bow, which is pretty... Oh no, that's my bow. I'm just dumb. Royal Bastard's Journal. This new guy thought he was so clever, joining us and setting us for the brigand's trap. Pathetic. Oh, how much fun we had toying with him instead. It's just a shame that the rat ran away. We'll get him. He's bound to come back for our loot. Not if I take it. A crafting book? And dried berries, cranberries, grilled fish, straps. And now their stupid camp isn't blocking me from my garlic. Yeah, you can also disband going to the army screen. Yes. And you can set up multiple armies, too. So you can, hypothetically, have a group of sword and board and a group of archers and issue orders to them separately. When you have companions, it's hard to show without two. Well, I'll do it, just to show you. So here is one army, and here is another army. Of course, they're just one each. And then when you're ordering them around, you can switch what set of companions you're ordering. So if you did want like a sword and board squad and an archery squad, you can actually have them cooperate. It's a little tricky. It's similar to Bannerlord, I suppose. So I could say, like, hey, Karina, go stand over there, and Lubomir, stand over there, and they'll stand in different spots, one with bow, one with sword board. There's a lot of sort of like a little difficult to use, but totally fun to experiment with army command controls, which I intend to do once I get good bowmen. I'm trying to set up a archery squad and a sword and board squad. I should probably at some point set up a stockpile specifically for food, because I don't have room for this stuff anymore. Or I could keep all the mushrooms. You know what I could do? Food rations. Here we go. Mushrooms not in there. And that way the mushrooms are just stored in the foragers, which has plenty of room. Seems reasonable. So my companions just turned in for the night. I'm going to add one more option to the poll here about what to do next. So I can quest in Padstow. Actually, let's change that. I'm going to say quest in Rhadamant as well. There we go. Quest in Padstow, clear another bandit camp. Set up more of the starting town, like a mining camp, maybe more housing, improve gear. So improve gear would be primarily researching this stuff here, like rugged shirt, which is part of a quest anyway. Probably adventurer's garb for a little bit more armor, just so that my my starting people can have some protection. I could also quest in Rhadamant, because now I have some extra quests for Rhadamant specifically to build up my renown, or almost everything is for just renown right now, not for trust, or go exploring. But while you vote on that, I think I want to source the linen required for a bag. So I need 6 reeds, 6 flax, and I'm going to go get the reeds, because it's easy for me to just go grab a whole bunch. Actually, you know what? I am going to set up another fast travel site. It's dark. Sorry I don't have a torch. At least it's bright enough for you to kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. As long as I stay out of the thick forests. So the periodic bandit threats, as you can see this little red meter right under the vote timer, as that builds up, I'll get periodically raided by bandits, and they do get stronger over time, which is a bit of a pressure, right? Because if the player doesn't improve, it doesn't add people that have weapons to the defense of the colony, eventually the bandits are going to win. So what that looks like, because I don't think I'm going to purposely ever let the bandits win, is your villagers will get injured and then require like roughly a day or two to coalesce to recover. And if they get injured again during that recovery period, they tend to die or have extended injuries, which is not good. The other thing that ends up happening is the bandits will raid you. So then they'll run up to your stockpiles and storages and just loot you and take stuff. You can kill the bandits to take some of your stuff back, but some of the stuff just instantly evaporates. So they'll, like, let's say they hit my stockpile right now. Some subset of the non-quest items that are in my inventory here will just disappear. And then some of it will go onto the bandits that I can then kill the bandits and recover it. The TLDR is that don't let the bandits win. It kind of sucks when they take your stuff. So continuing to make sure that your own settlements can defend itself is kind of important. And my 2 cents, unless you want to just be like Hawkeye with a bow, killing everything yourself, which is totally doable, like I said. My favorite way is to just have a militia. Roleplay, and this is probably the more fun way to play the game too, is roleplay as someone who is starting a... Ooh, yes please. Roleplay as someone who is starting like a revolutionary movement and invest in your people to be sort of, Minutemen or militia. That's at least my advice. So I'm over here. There's a craftsman here that lives by the lakeside. I'm gonna set up a travel sign right by his hut, so that I can come out here very easily to pick reeds by the lake, and trade with him if I want to trade with him.
I'm open for business, and I guarantee you won't be disappointed with what I have to offer.
So he sells straps, carpenter hammers. Buying a carpenter hammer is kind of nice because it's a little expensive to unlock them for the first time because they cost bronze. And then he has ropes and cords. You can easily make ropes and cords yourself, but if you're in a pinch and it's winter and you don't have the flax or hemp to make ropes and cords, you can always buy it from him. And then he'll buy, oddly, he'll also buy often ropes and cords. It makes no sense, but yeah, there you have it. And now I can fast travel to, this is the first time I'm fast traveling, but fast travel to and from there instantly through magic, because you're magical or something. But I can't. Oh, actually, yeah, I came out here for the river reeds, so I can make linen. It's also a really good place to hunt. As you can see, I'm like surrounded by wolves. In fact, I didn't even loot the wolf I killed, did I? Sorry, buddy. Waste not, want not. And just to the east of here, beyond this river, is boars. So there's a bunch of boars that are around this area too. Okie dokie. Nice and stocked. Heading back. I think at this point it makes sense to get a second stockpile. How full is this one? 3/4 full. Let's do another one. And put it over here of food. Before the things that you voted on. That will be a dedicated food stockpile, and this will just be another general stockpile. I don't want to overinvest in the starting area, but like stockpiles are pretty cheap to do. They're just flax, logs, wood. If you think that's a lot, you should just wait until you get tier 2 and tier 3 buildings. They get a little bit more expensive by a big order of magnitude. So current priority now is, you guys wanted me to improve gear and quest in Rhadamant after building stockpiles. And I got all those reeds for the linen too. I haven't forgotten. It's a little expensive initially, but I really like to hook up all of your villagers with bags, or there's a upgraded version of bags, but at least bags for now. Because their inventory space is not as big as mine. It's only a 3x3, so it's very limited. And it keeps them from having to make a lot of round trips constantly to drop off resources if they have a lot more space. Although with that said, it looks like Karina's hoarder skill isn't really being utilized all that well. But what I can say is the bags get used. In my test playthrough, I have upgraded versions of the bags for just about everyone, and they use them. They really do. Another funny, weird tip is if you cut down a tree towards a town and it's bordering the town and it falls into the town's terrain, you will not be able to loot it. So if you're just on the boundary of a town's territory, make sure to cut trees away from the town. I had a few logs end up falling the wrong way, and I was like, oh, okay, now there's just going to be fallen timber here forever. Didn't stick around forever, but it was kind of funny. This stockpile is for everything but food rations. As is this one. Now, because I'm about to have another stockpile specifically for food. And then I'll get rid of that camp chest and transfer everything over. Lubo, you don't need to help me build this. Oh god, I'm stuck. Well, here's the unstuck command. Boop. Done. Easy enough to use. So, food stockpile. Probably need to read another book. Another thing I should probably do is to move all of the the strength and agility based books into my private storage, so it's just easier to find a relevant book for me to read every time it's off cooldown. Or archery. Archery can go there too. Oh, I am just about done finishing reading that agility book. That's good timing. Because farming and crafting can be more useful for your companions. Okay, so those stockpiles are all set up. Now we have plenty of storeroom. We're not almost full, which is good. Lubo just made more arrows. Cool, thanks. And you guys wanted me to improve gear and quest for Rhadamant. So the first thing I'm going to do to improve gear is make that, to research the linen bag. So I'm going to grab 6 flax, 6 river reeds, and get what I need to finish that up. I could wait for them to prioritize it or change the priorities, but it is useful for the player or for you to do some of the crafting yourself so that you build up your crafting skill. Because if you eat high productivity foods and you have high crafting skill, you can craft stuff very quickly, which can come in a pinch. So if you're about to be raided by a lot of bandits or a reclamation rate of bandits or, you know, brigands or whatever, and you need to make like iron arrows stat, you don't have to, and everybody in your colony is asleep, because at nighttime your villagers sleep, they don't work, and you all of a sudden need arrows. Like if you have high productivity food and like, you know, good crafting stats, you can make it yourself. Whereas if you're relying solely upon your villagers to do stuff, work won't get done at night, which can sometimes be a problem. And then once this linen is done, the bags will be done, and I'll start working on the rugged shirts, which was both for a quest for Rhadamant and also better armor. But if I had the choice between those shirts or there's better shirts that are that could be given out instead. And the better shirts cost tin to research, tin straps and pelt. But the rugged shirts are 3 straps, 3 cords. So I'll grab the straps and cords now, because we just unlocked bag. So the bags cost 5 reeds, 5 hemp, and 3 flax. Lobo is researching the... Oh yeah, he'll be done with that in just a second. Cool. Okay, I'm going to start going... I'm going to have him research and start going down the helmet tree a bit to get better helmets, so that Karina and Lubo can't get easily knocked on the noggin. It's especially bad if an enemy archer shoots you in the head and you're not wearing a helmet. It does a hell of a lot of damage. It's pretty terrible. But it's mostly that only helmet slot stuff covers your head, whereas for torso, it's both your chest and hands. And for pants, or for bottom, it's trousers and boots, so it's easier to get that for armor. For me personally, I kind of prioritize movement speed and a shield rather than high levels of armor, unless you know you're going to be doing a heck of a lot of tanking. Just because with movement speed and a shield, you aren't stuck trudging around the forest trying to get from point A to point B, or having to constantly strip off your clothing so you can move again, or running around naked when it's inconvenient for you to have, armor on. Just easier to do it that way. So Lubo is making linen for the coif, and we now have the ability to make the rugged shirts. So what do they cost? 2 cords, 5 hemp a piece. So I'll get those banged out for the merchant in need. And then after that, we can make the simple axes for the other quests. All while trying to improve the gear. The other thing is, your companions more or less jog everywhere, so they're far less affected by gear than the player who can sprint. Like, no one else really sprints exactly. The enemies sprint, but they're not affected by gear encumbrance either. But your companions don't exactly sprint ever. So them wearing constantly heavy armor isn't really a problem for their mobility. Whereas like you, the player, can really slow down to a crawl if you wear a lot of heavy stuff. So having my companions in heavy armor all the time, and having me in the best protective stuff that doesn't have bad speed modifiers is probably my ideal. So that I have the mobility to go hunting and running around questing, and they have the protection afforded by good clothing all the time. Alright, that's done and done. So I can go and deliver that. Lubomir is... Oh, did I never... Oh, that's my fault. So we aren't making linen ever, because I never told them to. So now I just told Lubomir to make linen when he's not, researching or whatever. It's also not unreasonable for me to start farming rather early. It's hard to talk about that without spoiling too much. So, spoiler. Spoiler for while my hand's raised. How's that sound? This entire region has no source of wheat, for the most part, other than one farm controlled by brigands. And you can steal the wheat from the farm and start farming it yourself. And the sooner you do that, probably the better. So, I want to start a farm. Sooner or later, a wheat farm. Because wheat is turned into straw, which is turned into thatch, which is a major material for, like, a ton of construction. And until you have a good source of wheat, Tier 2 construction projects are totally hampered by the fact that wheat is not really easily sourced outside of fighting brigands for it. Spoiler over.
Beware the bandits on the road. Have you got those?
So here's the shirts.
I hope my men will not have to test their durability.
Here's your reward. I will take strength, thank you very much.
Thank you again.
Alright, so that's done. let's go ahead and do the simple axes. That's a pretty straightforward quest to supply to Theodore. And then also while we're out here, we can continue asking about the On the Verge. So I'm in town, everybody's awake, we can ask about the ghostly figure that they saw.
Aye? What can I do for you today? Ah, yes.
News from the kingdom?
The forest at
There's
night,
always something.
like some nocturnal creature. I'm sure they weren't one of the brigands. Those lazy goons don't patrol the village at that time. A bandit scout or something, I'd say.
Someone lurking by the fields? That sounds awfully suspicious.
Indeed, I do wish it were that harmless. Best keep your wits about you. There might be more to this than meets the eye.
All right, last but not least, Amelie.
What do you need? Gods, why does that old man think I know about everything that's going on in this place? Listen, I didn't see a thing. However, this is a good opportunity to show the villagers that you are doing something to make their lives better. Rather than just being comfortable with things as they are under our so-called leader.
Thanks for the pointer.
Well, someone ought to take charge. The villagers need some reassurance right now.
All right. I will go talk to Donovan Klain. And the Rugged Coif is done, because I finally remembered to queue up the, hey, you guys should make linen crafting order so that they can actually do that stuff themselves. Whatever is on your head makes it look like I have a Farquaad bob. Still? Maybe I'll need to wear a helmet. Or something on my head. So here's the diminishing returns I'm talking about. The Rugged Coif, I could research the armored cap. You gain 2 armor, and it costs more strap and simple cords. The tier 1 stuff, I would say, doesn't have terrible diminishing returns, but when you get into like tier 3 armor, the diminishing returns is really rough. I think I want my people in rugged trousers and adventurer's garbs and rugged boots and rugged mitts and maybe higher level stuff than that. But for now, I'm going to research the trousers next because I have the materials for that. For me to research the shirts, I need at least 1 tin ingot, so I'll get that queued up. Oh, God, there's no wood in this. Can't wait to have a full-time lumberjack. All of the young trees, the saplings and the like, for wood has been like cut down around here. Very much my fault. I take responsibility. Oh, there's rugged trousers. That was quick. So if I do the garb, the ingot is currently smelting. And then it was, what, 3 cords, 3 strap, I think? I don't really need to be... 3 pelts. I don't really need to be moving it myself, because Lubo would do it. He doesn't need my help. No, actually, he didn't get the pelts. I might not even have them. No, I have pelts. Ah, I grabbed the tin ingot before he did. Alright, so now everything's there to finish that one too. And once I have the research done I can roll that stuff out to them to use. Another thing I can have them queue up is on the Weaver table. I'll have them queue up, do 1 bag, top up to 1. I need to go fetch some more river reeds, but the benefit to that is they'll always be making 1, so there's 1 for me to hand out to someone.
Don't draw your weapon, pal. I'm not looking for trouble.
What are you doing here? Are you the one sneaking around the village?
I am no enemy. I'm trying to hide from the royal bastards, that bandit group, that's all. They won't find me hiding among villagers close to the brigands.
Tell me your story. What brings you here?
Thank you for hearing me out. You look like a reasonable kid. I was a part of the royal bastards. I joined out of pure desperation. I couldn't get a real job in this shithole of a region. So I joined the bandits group. But things didn't get any better. They practically treated me like one of you villagers. My first job was holding up a lord's convoy passing through the lowlands. But the others refused to share the spoils with me, and I was devastated. I wanted to use the gold to get out of this place. And they said no. I left the bastards, and now I'm trying to survive. But they're hunting me. I want to leave this place so much, but I think we can help each other. I have a proposition if you'll hear me out.
What's the proposition?
Well, I can tell you where the stash is hidden from the convoy raid. It's most likely well defended, but you look like someone who can handle themselves. We'll share the spoils. I can finally leave this godforsaken land and you'll get a hefty chunk of gold. What do you say?
All right. So I'm going to give you guys the choice here. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to vote. Or well, whatever. 1 minute to vote. We can split the spoils, or I can fight him and keep it for myself. What do you guys think? Fight him or split it? How merciful are you? It's a good morality experiment, I suppose. Oh, looks like Team Mercy is winning here. All right, I'll call it. We'll split.
That's what I wanted to hear. Look, I'll mark the place on the map.
All right, wait for me here. I've already cleared out the bandit camp. It was this one over here. So I need to just go fetch the bandit's treasure quest item that's in my stockpile and bring it over to him to split. Little did he know he's hiding out from corpses, because, you know, I killed them.
Did you find the treasure?
Here it is.
Gods, finally, take your half. I can leave this place after all these years. Don't worry about the villagers, they will never see me again.
Farewell. And now I'll go tell the elder that the ghost has been dealt with. At least the blacksmith said it was probably just some bandit. But the weaver was like, oh, it's a ghost. Yeah, is it though? And there's an available quest over that way somewhere that I'll pick up before leaving.
Looking for trouble?
Stop. Yes?
Regarding that bandit nearby.
Yes? What did you manage to find out? Was he a bandit scout or a ghost like Andrea theorized?
A former bandit, don't worry, he won't bother Rhadamant anymore.
So what did you decide to do with him?
I'll let him go. He wanted to leave the lowlands. He assured me he would no longer bother the villagers.
I'm glad that you were able to resolve this without bloodshed, but I'm not sure if he will keep his word. I suppose we'll see if this decision was a good one. Take this as a reward.
I will take archery and a bonus of laboring.
I hope they prove useful.
For laboring, Karina, you're going to learn one of them. And Lubomir, you're going to learn the other. I chose not cooking because she's already super high level in cooking, so I don't really need cooking books. Thank you for tuning in to Bellwright, which originally streamed live on Twitch May 25th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, viewers that turned out to the Marathon's live stream, and also viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Bellwrights.